As with all situations where Rashi offers multiple options within his commentary to a particular pasuk, there is the need to analyze each of the options separately and identify the shortcomings in each. As discussed earlier, with respect to Cain's offering mipri ha'adama, we have the two options. One is that it was min hagarua, and the second inserted into a bracket on account of the fact that some original manuscripts contained the second option while others conflated the second option into the first option. We should take a look at the shortcomings of each. Assuming at this point in time that the difficulty addressed by Rashi is the question as to why God rejected the offering of Cain, to which Rashi, drawing from the Bereshit Rabbah, suggests that it was because of the quality of his offering, namely it was the least valuable of his possession. The problem with this reading of the Rashi is that at the very least there should have been some indication from within the text that this was the case, rather than drawing this conclusion from the contrast between the terminology used by the text in describing the respective offerings, where with respect to the offering of Hevel, we are told that his offering was Mibechorot, the firstborn. It was Michel Behem, the choicest of the flocks. And therefore, by extension, when the Torah describes the offering of Cain as merely being Mipri Ha'adama, one extrapolates that the offering of Cain was of the poorest quality. Surely, that if we are making this contrast on this basis, the narrative should have used an expression that is the natural polar opposite to the descriptives used for Hevel's offering. And for this reason, Rashi provides a second option, more in line with the neutrality of the term Mipri Ha'adama, Davar Acher, Mipri Mi'ez Sheba Liyado, Lo Tov, V'lo Muvchar. Not necessarily good, not necessarily the choicest, but at the same time not necessarily of the worst quality. The shortcoming of option 2, however, is not a problem with respect to terminology, but one of content. If the intent of Rashi is to justify the rejection of Cain's offering, then surely the fact that it was not the choicest, but rather whatever was available, should not have been grounds for God to have rejected his offering. If we read into the Mipri Ha'adama that he offered the poorest, then one could argue that in doing so he was showing disrespect, it was an affront, an insult to God, and therefore rejection of that offering was justifiable. According to the second option, there was no insult, there was no disrespect. In the worst case, Cain was careless, not focused, and therefore an oversight such as this would not justify a total rejection of the korban by God, resulting in the death of a human being. And it is for this reason that the Rebbe will look for other options that explain the two interpretations that Rashi provides to the Pri Ha'adama offering of Cain.